Welcome to the Christie Taylor Show. I'm your host, Christie Taylor, and yes, we are in the midst of fall. Well, we're creeping into fall, and one thing I look forward to, besides the Southern Heritage Classic, is fall fashion. And we have a globetrotter. Yeah, she decided to grace us with her presence, and I'm super excited about it. Inspired by her African roots, Liberian-born fashion designer and stylist, CUT-TOE MOE-MOE-LOO is stamping her global brand in fashion with a women's wear and accessory line that celebrate the essence of her rich heritage through the use of traditional luxury fabrics. A graduate of an amazing design institute in Ottawa, I tell you, this young lady who relocated to Canada in the 1990s following the coup in her homeland, Liberia, advanced her field experience by auditioning for and earning a spot on the fifth season of Bravo's Emmy nominated show, Project Runway. Yes, you've seen this young lady on television. Throughout the season, CUT-TOE, her primary signature use of color and diversity in print, style, and presentation made her one to watch. Her feisty spirit resonated well with the audience, earning her the coveted fan favorite vote and ultimately placed it a first runner up. Career highlights include headlining countless fashion shows worldwide in places like Jamaica, Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands, Honduras, Canada, and Liberia. Now, let me tell you, CUT-TOE was commissioned by Alice Walton to design uniforms for the Crystal Bridges Museum staff based on her ability to design for people of all shapes and sizes. She served as the Cheerios ambassador for the ShopRite partners in carrying Knockout Hunger campaign and continues to contribute her time and talents to countless charitable and philanthropic endeavors. Highlighted as 10-5 to watch by New York Magazine, CUT-TOE has been featured in countless international and national publications, including Elle, Us Weekly, Marie Claire, Arise, Essence, Sundance Channel, Soap Opera Digest, BBC, just to name a few. Television appearances include, of course, Project Runway, All Stars 3, Arise TV, BET's Rip the Runway, BET's Lens on Talent, All on the Line, and countless others. She's also provided several fashion shows aboard the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage, as well as the Tom Joyner Family Reunion. CUT-TOE currently resides right here in our region, Little Rock, Arkansas, with her family. I want you to help me welcome to the Christie Taylor Show the phenomenal, yes, CUT-TOE MOE-MOE-LOO. Thank you so much for being CUT-TOE, CUT-TOE, CUT-TOE. I have probably just been butchering that name. I've been cutting the toe to a two.
Oh God, it's okay. It's the story of my life.
CUT-TOE MOE-MOE-LOO, thank you so very much for being a gracious guest here on the Christie Taylor Show.
Thanks for
I have
having
to say,
me.
I'm loving all of the vibrancy just in your background with the
Thank
colors,
you.
the artwork, the earrings. Yes, you're looking like the designer that you truly are. Now, tell
Thank
us a
you.
little story on who you are, CUT-TOE.
Well, my name is Korto Momolu. I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa. That's where I was born and raised. And my family actually used to travel so much growing up. I left Liberia for the first time at 4. We moved to Boston. My mom came to the States to get her degree. And then we just traveled back and forth. We lived in Africa, and we actually had a really great life there. My dad worked in the government, so we were able to move as frequently as we wanted to. And at some point, though, there was some civil unrest in Liberia, and that's what eventually took my family to Canada. We became refugees there and started a whole new life, and that's actually where I graduated high school and started my design career, went to design school, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, and indeed a history that is truly one in the making. Now let's talk about the history and the herstory that you're making. As far as once you finished design school, what was the next step for you?
The next step for me definitely was just getting the experience in the field. So definitely not just graduating and then what do I do now, getting a job. I actually worked in the field. I worked in retail for a while. I taught sewing lessons and fashion design classes. And I also, just try to figure out ways where I could test what I learned and really have that hands-on experience. This is before like we could really get really great internships. So that was my way of being an intern myself, is going and putting myself in position in places where I could use the craft that I learned and get them better. I did a countless amount of fashion shows in Canada. And then once I moved to the US in Little Rock, I started the same journey as well, starting really over again, becoming, you know, a local name for myself, creating a name for myself here. And that's what the momentum was that kind of built up for me to have the confidence, so you say, to go and try out to be on Project Runway.
So CUT-TOE, Little Rock. Now I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, so we are just hours away. Oftentimes we rip and run Memphis to Little Rock, Memphis to Nashville.
Yeah.
So how did Little Rock come on your radar?
Well, I met a guy. He was in the military.
It starts off with that. I met a guy.
And he was in the military. And when he got out, he said he was moving back home, and this is where he was from. So I visited, you know, a few times prior when we were dating. And then, you know, once I moved here, it was a struggle. I'm not going to lie. I am a city girl, East Coast. Boop, boop. I just like hustle and bustle. That's me. That's always been who I am. So moving here was definitely a challenge for me, and having to literally pave a road that wasn't even paved yet. I wasn't trying to be, you know, the next Harriet Tubman, you know, that leader. I just wanted to kind of come in and then show you what I got. But it took me actually having to do that to really just prove who I was here. You know, I think people saw me come in here and do things differently. I had a different mindset, so I already had that edge over what was already here. And there weren't too many local designers that were just designing. So coming into the scene, you know, it was easy for me to break out because there weren't too many obstacles in my way, so to speak. And I think once I did it, they really did welcome me and support me here. I have probably most of my business comes right here from home. If there's something that needs to be done creatively, I'm the first phone call. So I appreciate that, the love that I get locally from home. You know, I'm not from here for real born, but I feel like an Arkansan. They have grandfathered me in, and they're not gonna get rid of me.
I love that. Can I ask a question? Because you have been, you know, you are a globetrotter. You are an international citizen who has been all over this globe.
Yes.
What makes the South special when it comes to fashion and design? You know, what have you observed from the Southern culture?
Definitely, people in the South don't play by the Northern rules, and I appreciate that. And I think the people in the North kind of snub when they, you know, they hear you're from anywhere past North Carolina, or even Virginia, really. And I think people in the South just say, you know what, this is what we do. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. And I can appreciate that, you know, that cockiness or just that matter of factness. Like, look, this is how we do it. So whatever y'all doing up there, that's fine. But we ain't got nowhere to wear that stuff anyways. And who's wearing that stuff anyways? So I appreciate that here people are more practical about what they wear. It's still more cultural, I think, than just that generic New York fashion where everyone just looks like, oh, I'm wearing this and calling names and no one's ever heard of. I think here people try more to have an identity, and I can relate to that. Everyone wants to stand out, and I appreciate that.
Of course, that is infused a lot through your work. I had so much fun going through your website.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, just your flair, just even the way, you know, you handled yourself when you were on all the different television shows. And one of the things that people talked to was about your individuality and your flair and your style.
Yes.
So can we talk aesthetically about how you approach your work?
Definitely. Being African, number one, I'm always going to rep for where I'm from. You know, I it's not something that's a gimmick or let me just do this and it'll sell. This is who I am. This is who I always going to be. It's in my blood. It's in everything I do, from my music to the food I eat to the things I naturally gravitate towards, whether I make it or not. I love colorful things. I love things with texture. I love things that a maker has put together, like somebody's hands put these beads together on this earring and created this thing that becomes this extra ornament on me that helps me, you know, illuminate my being. So I always tell people, like, just look within yourself to find your inner style. Everybody has that. I think some people are into it or they're not, but if you're looking for it, what do you like? When you go to the store, what pops at you? Some people just love wearing black or nudes and beige. Right. And, you know, then you have someone like me come in and I'm like, give me the yellow, give me the print, give me this, give me that. And I'm a color explosion, but I think whatever it is, you have to own it, you know, so that when you walk into a room, people see you, whether you're wearing all black or whether you're wearing all the colors I have on. when you own your look, because that's who you are, it resonates within your soul. Like it comes out like a beam of light. So when you come into a room, that's the first thing people see before they even speak to you and find out who you are. So it's very important to really think about that. That's your statement.
Mm-hmm. So
you know,
beyond color, I noticed that your lines. Okay, let me tell you, a lot of people, they laugh at me because I guess I'm an undercover couture type person.
Yes.
But I love clean lines.
Mm-hmm.
I love lines, from all types of design.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah. So when it comes to your beyond the color, how do you approach your lines when you're designing and you're drawing your work?
Definitely, I try to focus on body types. I'm a curvy girl. I really went into fashion, for just being a designer, but I think there was a point in my life where, going to the stores and feeling inadequate or feeling not pretty enough or not thin enough was the moment where I realized, okay, I have to make that change. I'm a designer. Like, I can't complain about what this line is carrying or that line is carrying because it doesn't fit me. I can change that. And I think it was always been that became my platform at that moment. I had my daughter. I lost all this weight, went to LA, had a girlfriend's trip. And I remember Beyonce had the Dairy on jeans, and I just knew they were going to fit my little booty because I had stacked up just like her. Went in that change room, and the jeans are like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, you want us to fit? Oh, no, that's not happening, girl. And I had a whole breakdown. Like, I broke down in there because I felt so ugly. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, these jeans are taking my power away. But I mean, it really broke me down. And I was like, you know what? I would never make anything to make anybody else feel the way I felt in that change room that day. I remember like it was yesterday. So that was my platform. Like I went on, Project Runway. I was like, I want a model that's curvy. I want to make clothes for real women, whatever they see, even if it's on a size 6 model. I still want someone who's a 12, 14 like myself can look at it and be like, okay, I can wear that. Even though it's cut small, I can see my body in that. And representation is very important. So every show I have, there's always going to be, your average models, but I always have a full figure girl. I have a girl that looks like me. I have a daughter that's shaped like me. So I need her when she comes to my show to see herself. Yeah. Not to think, well, I have to look like that to wear mommy's clothes. No, you can look like whatever you want. Once you can put it on and be great in it, you can wear it. And I think that's the message I wanted to send. And at the time, I think I was way before my time on that because they weren't.
Actually, I'm just
on that show. Like I used to get talked about a lot.
Yeah.
But now, it's a staple. Now there's a full size model that you have to design for, and I hate that it took all of that.
Yeah.
But baby steps, but we're there now. But then what more can we do? What more can we just have clothes and just have women where we're not having labels or this is full and this is not full? It's just clothing.
I'm so glad you said that because, when you were on that show, it was definitely still a hard fight, for full figure models.
For full figure models, for individuality, like me and my African accents. Yeah, they wasn't being received very well.
Now, let me ask you this.
That's who I am. So if you can't have that, you can't have me. Like, that's me. So in order to take that out, it's like taking me out of it. What's the point?
Now, I have a quick question, CUT-TOE, because I also, like I said, a lot of people be surprised because I'm not a fashionista like a lot of my friends who are like diehards, but I love art. And I think I love the artistry that the fashion industry sometimes present. So I actually follow quite a bit of international designers, and a lot of them are from the continent. So what type of relationships do you have with fashion designers on the continent?
Definitely a lot of them. I'm so happy now, and I think it's with the last year or two, with people taking more time to recognize that with Black culture is just not in America. Like, in music, you're hearing more Afro beats now. Yeah. I mean, I wish I grew up during this time because when I grew up, I was an African booty scratcher, all of that. It was not it, okay? It was not the place to be. So I'm just happy now that the kids growing up now, they can see themselves in all genres, in fashion, in music, in dance. And when you have a Beyonce who comes out with a whole Black is King, where she's infusing African culture, music, and style, she chose a lot of African designers to be in those videos on that entire album. So I can appreciate that. I make a point of shopping with my friends. So I shop with other designers, African on the continent, here in the US. If I'm gonna buy something, I'd rather buy something from someone I know who made it, who I know I'm gonna have a one-of-a-kind piece, an individual piece. because I know what it's like to create something amazing and people love it, but maybe they can't afford it, or maybe they think, well, where am I going to wear that? So it's very much a part of my life now. And I think if we all kind of made that effort to do it, we all complain about, celebrities, oh, they don't wear any Black designers, but they don't really make the effort to. You can have anything you want if you just ask for it.
Now, Michelle Obama and even some other actresses are now stepping up and wearing more, not just African-American and African designers, but just new emerging for so many
giving
years.
everybody a chance, Like, there's so much talent out there. Like, I mean, you're never going to hear every person who can sing well. I think with those things, you have to figure out, like, how much of it do you want? How much of the pie do you want, or can you take, or can you handle? And just be real about it. Because everybody can't be Jennifer Hudson. Everybody can't be, Aretha Franklin or Gladys Knight. You have to figure out what it is that your gift is and what part of that pie you can take and handle. And then you just work on that, because there's enough for all of us. There really is.
I love that. And CUT-TOE, we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to talk about cannabis when we come back. We're back with my very special guest, world-acclaimed designer Korto Momolu. Now, cannabis. Now, we've been talking about the very fact that you have been on the vanguard of the full figure or the curvy girl movement and the fashion industry, bringing that authenticity, your natural, upbringing, the very fact that you design for all sizes. And now you're pushing the envelope yet again, partnering with amazing designers across the country in the cannabis industry. Okay, bring me up to speed. Now, I'm a little novice to this part of the cannabis-inspired fashion movement. Bring me up to speed.
And then, I mean, basically what that means. So I think a lot of times when people hear that, they think you're making clothes out of cannabis leaves or the plant. I'm not. You can't smoke the clothes and get high. It's really basically, we have a lot of women who are actually entering the space in the industry, in the cannabis industry. And a lot of them have businesses and they have different avenues and licenses, and they have brands that they want to represent. So just like going to work for a company and they have polo shirts with Nike on it or FedEx or whatever, they want clothing that they can represent with their brand. So that's what this is, 420 skincare wanting to have just clothing that people can wear for women and men who are we're actually doing some men's as well in the cannabis industry who can wear these clothing and actually rock their logos on it, making some stuff out of hemp as well, just to show that you can take this hemp plant and actually make beautiful garments out of it. So just really breaking down the stigma of it, breaking down, what people normally think, and starting a conversation is a great conversation piece. And once you start it, people tend to see that, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's harmless. But with cannabis, myself personally, I've been using I have knee issues. I've had 2 knee surgeries. I have arthritis. And I was introduced to it when I did a show with a group called Women Grow. And they've been really schooling me and educating me on the different products that I can use to help my body. Because, sometimes I go to the doctor and there's nothing they can do for me. I just have to live in pain or be on pain meds. And we all know what that leads to. You know what I mean? Like long-term, it's not good. Then there's addiction and so many other things when I can just literally take some CBD ointments and put them on me and massage them on me and actually feel better and not have to go through the pain. And I mean, and there's so many other ways if you want to ingest it as well that you can use if you're really sick. Let's be real, it's medicinal. And some people really have excruciating pain, chronic pain that they deal with daily that you cannot take a Tylenol for. So I think opening the dialogue to talk about the benefits of medicinal cannabis, and just looking away from, you know, all the stuff that people joke about, but it really is here to help those who really need it. Like, it's really helped me. And my mom actually has really, really bad arthritis. And she was one of those people, she's like, I don't want drugs. So I literally tricked her one day. I got her some ointment and she put it on, and got some CBD gummies. And she's like, oh my God, this medication is great. Where did you get it? I was like, it's cannabis. You know, but I just need to go past it, okay? You're not gonna get high, you're fine, and now you're feeling good. You're feeling, you know, much better. She can walk around, she can get out of the bed. And she lives in Canada where it's fully legal, you know, medicinal or recreational. So I'm like, there's no reason why you have to be crying every day because it's gonna rain, you know, because your knees are locking up. When you already know it's coming, so you can actually take them prior to. You can get your ointment on, you can take your CBD gummies, just like you do any other gummies to help your body. You know, and it's not hurting you in any way. It's actually helping you. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. You know, I like the fact that how you just tricked her into that. And
I had to. She's a true African mom. She goes, I don't do drugs. I was like, oh my God, Jesus.
That sounds like my mom. I was trying to trick her into it a couple of times. We got her to do some CBD oil and some ointment. But yeah, when it came to that, the gummies and stuff, and the chocolate she liked a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think the THC, you know, sometime if it was a little high, she's
that's why the CBD is better to me, because it's a lesser dose, and then you have some stuff called Delta 8 that's all natural stuff. So if the THC is something you're not wanting, there's so many other options. I think you have to educate yourself. But there's so many other things out there that you can take and be just fine and go to work and function and drive and be fine and actually not be in pain and have to be worried about, oh my God, my neck or my back. Especially like when you're traveling.
Truly a interesting way to begin this conversation. Women who grow and women who design merging together.
Literally.
In Arizona, give us a little bit more details about the upcoming event for those who are in that neck of the woods.
Yeah, so it's called the Queen of the Nile, and for 420 Collections, their main attributes to their brand, very much the Egyptian culture, the goddess, the strong woman. It's founded by an African American woman, which, you know, there's not a lot of us on the platform as it is. So to have this woman wanting to do something like this, and then say to me, another woman that looks like her, like, I want you to do it, like, that means everything to me, because representation matters, and it's a space that a lot of us are not in, and they're in there trying to pull more of us in there, you know, more females in there, whether you're, you know, black or white or whatever. It's very female dominated, becoming female dominated, and I love that girl power and that goddess thing. So we kind of took that theme and decided to do the Queen of the Nile and find pieces, create pieces for it that would just represent a different kind of woman, not your everyday average, but a woman that, you know, is going somewhere and saying something that when she walks in, like, even though her outfit may be made out of some hemp or not, but the brand that she's representing is saying that, you know, as women, we're going to stand tall, and we're going to be hard, and we're going to be resilient, and we're going to be dope, and we're going to do everything, you know, and we're going to conquer this industry and help people and make money and bring others in to, you know, help their businesses as well.
You know, CUT-TOE, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. You have my mind just spinning about how we can partner in so many different industries.
Oh my gosh, yes. So many opportunities too.
Yeah. So 2021, 2022, what we got going on, sis?
Wow, we got a lot going on this year. We're going to end this year. I haven't done a show in Little Rock in years. So I have a day here, November 13th. It's CUT-TOE MOE-MOE-LOO Day. So I'm actually going to show a outside runway show for just my fans here, my supporters here, to come and just see the next thing. It's been a while since I've done something like that. So I'm really kind of digging deep and just going to that very first show I had here that really started my career, and kind of using that as my inspiration to do the part 2 of it, and collecting, you know, local artists that were in that first show and then bringing them back. We've all grown so much and done so much in our lives, just to see the growth of it. So that's coming up in November. I also have a trunk show that same weekend, so people can actually buy the pieces and see the. And, you know, I'm an artist, so I actually do a lot of work. I do a lot of more painting now since the pandemic. I've been using all my gifts. I'm bringing all my gifts out
Okay.
So it's almost like a reintroduction. Let me reintroduce myself and just show people like all the things that I can do and really leverage my Let's platform. I'm trying to move my business more from fashion to kind of home lifestyle. So
What?
like if you don't necessarily love my style, but maybe you'll love my pillows or my candles, or so it's something. If you love my aesthetic, you can get something. It doesn't necessarily have to be my bold clothing, my bold colors, but something that you can fit into your home or even gift to someone. So we're working on that, changing the brand, and going into next year, praying we can return back to Fashion Week, because that's the Super Bowl of fashion. So hopefully next year things will go back to normal. So that's what we're working on. So this 420 collection I'm doing, we're actually going to debut it in Fashion Week next year, September, in New York.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Wow, this has been an amazing conversation. Anytime you want to chit chat, please let me know. And I'm definitely going to be perusing your website even more now that you're talking about home decor, because if you're doing any artwork like what's behind you and just the bold colors that you have on the wall, honey, I need some pops of colors.
Awesome.
Yes, love
so
it.
All that's going to be rebranded for November. So look for the rebranding, and I'll send you the info so you can check it out.
Thank you. I might even cross the river, as they say. I might cross the bridge, honey.
Front row seat.
That's all I needed to hear, right? Okay.
That'd be great. I think that'd be awesome.
Thank you so very much. Any last words before we go?
Just anybody out there who's listening, who maybe you have a dream, you've been sitting on that dream. I don't know if you haven't seen, but everybody's going through a lot right now. The world is changing and people are dropping out. This is the time. Tomorrow's not promised. So seek after your dream. You might not know where to start, but just taking that one step and just speaking it. Sometimes we think about things and no one even knows that we want to be a pastry chef or we want to own a bakery or whatever it is you're thinking, speak it. And once you speak it, I promise on everything, things will start coming at you based on what you just spoke into the universe. Sometimes God's just waiting on you.
All right. She said a whole word. Sometimes God is just waiting on you. I love it.
Yeah.
We're not going to have God wait no more. 2021, 2022. Here we come.
Yes.
Unwrapping those gifts. So thank you so very much. We are
Thank
talking
you.
to the designer, the one and the only CUT-TOE. I said it right.
Yay.
Yes, CUT-TOE Momolu. Thank you so much for being a very special guest.